Hey guys, welcome back to MPTcraft. My name is Escore and this is version 2 of my Burnable Cobwebs contraption. And it's a lot faster and also works simultaneously. Overall, it is pretty cool. And that is because the newest snapshot is out. The snapshot 14W26B. And this snapshot contains a new command called the detect command. And what the detect command does is basically combining testing for a block and then executing a command if that block is found. And yeah, that is very useful. As you can see, it works from every direction now. And yeah, these are all the command blocks. And okay, I'm just testing for 4 directions actually. So I'm testing for if a player uses a flint and steel from this direction, from this direction, from this direction, and this direction. And yeah, I'm using the detect command, so the command looks like this. I'm executing at all players, so this is multiplayer friendly, that have a specific rotation. So the rotation is when I press F3, you can see it right here. And yeah, so if a player looks in the specific direction, so in this case negative 112 and negative 68, so minimum Y rotation and maximum Y rotation, and if he has used a flint minimum value of 1. So I'm using scoreboard objectives list. I'm using this right here, so flint is one objective I'm using and lifetime is one objective I'm using. And because flint is stat.useItem, it will automatically increase if I use a flint and steel. Yeah, so if the flint is then 1 and I'm looking into the direction, it will then detect or execute the detect command to detect on a specific location if there is a web with a data value of 0. And if there is a web with a data value of 0, it will then execute the summon falling send command, also on a location where I'm testing where the web is. And this falling sand has a motion of 0.1 upwards, and it is a block Minecraft barrier, so that is so I have an invisible entity. Because if I would use Wither Skulls and summon them instantly and not teleport them from another location to here, you would be able to see them. And yeah, so barriers are completely invisible. They have a time value of 1, drop item 0, and custom name fire. And I'm doing this into every direction. And of course the relative coordinates change. Yeah, so it looks like this. And what also is really cool about this is that previously, when I used my flint like this, you were now able to see it, that right here was a little fire particle, and in my version 1, when I did this, so for example like this, and walk away fast, it would then summon a Wither Skull in front of the web, so about right here where now this web is. If I would, because when I'm doing this, it will say, okay, there is a web in front of you and you have used your flint, and then I back away and it will then summon the Wither Skull. But yeah, now with the detect command, I can actually do this, that it will only execute it if there is a web. So if I move back from the web after right clicking, it will not do anything. This is pretty cool. And yeah, okay, repeaters are still a little bit glitchy, so you might have to speed up the clock and so on. As you can see, they blink twice. But yeah, that's because of the new snapshot. And then what I'm doing is at the end of the line, I'm resetting the flint score. If a player has a flint minimum value of 1, I'm setting it to 0 again. And then I am executing at an entity with the name fire. I'm executing the particle command, 0.5 upwards, so it's a little bit higher because falling sands, the center is a little bit too low, kind of, for the particles. Then I'm adding 1 to the lifetime of every entity with the name of fire. And then I'm executing at an entity that has a score lifetime of 3. So minimum value 3 and maximum value 3. And I am executing the detect command again. So I'm now testing if on the left side from that falling sand is a web. And if there is a web, it will summon a falling sand on the left side. And yeah, the falling sand has the same command, so it's a barrier again and custom name fire. Also on the right side, so now I'm always lifetime 3, okay. I'm testing for a web on the right side, and I'm going to summon a falling sand if there is a web. Then the same for the x coordinates, because right here it was the z coordinates, and also for the y coordinates. And for the y coordinates, okay, you don't need a 1 for falling sand right here, because as you have seen right here, I was using the detect, so -1 right here, and on the falling sand side, also I had the -1. But somehow you do not need this for if you go into the y direction. And also into the negative y direction, there's now -1 and also nothing. Yeah, and then at the end, it will then execute if the lifetime has reached 4. It will execute the set block air command, and also almost at the same time, it will kill the entity with the score lifetime of 4. Yeah, and that's how it works. So let's see it again from, let's say, this direction, okay, or let's say from this direction. And okay, sometimes you have to click a little bit, 2 times or 3 times. And yeah, so it's summoning falling sand entities, barriers, and executing the particle command, testing if there is a web, and if it has found a web, at the same time it's going to summon another barrier falling sand. And then when it has reached a lifetime of 4, it's going to kill it and replace the web with air. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Have a very nice day, guys.